preview of what's going to come in the upcoming chapters from chapter 6 to 18, so that you remain enthusiastic, look forward to study. Underneath. Sometimes, right, we need to see the milestones. Sometimes we need to look in the rear view mirror also, how much we crossed. Sometimes you should know both how much is ahead there. Whatever we crossed, when you look at it, some confidence will develop. Yes, it's good. We crossed so much. Then when you see how much needs to go, then way you can plan, oh, this is what expected. Right? So do you know how much to cross? So I need to organize my life. I need to organize my driving or next time so that I can go ahead. This much is left to reach the destination. But sometimes when you keep on looking at how much distance left, it could be depressing. Oh, I got to go another 2,000 miles. But when you look back in the rear mirror, how much we crossed, oh, I already crossed 1,000 miles. That's good sign. Can remain enthusiastic. Confidence can develop. That's the idea. Yeah, so we all know Gita, Bhagavad Gita, right? Bhagavad Gita means what? Gita means what in Sanskrit?
Which gives the
Song.
knowledge of Brahman.
Knowledge of Brahman, yes. Gita means song, literally, right? Bhagavad Gita means, Bhagavan means God, Supreme Personality of God. Prabhupada translated Supreme Personality of God. Bhagavan in Sanskrit generally can be used in two contexts. When Bhagavan is used, it also means somebody who is like great personality. Also, Bhagavan means, literally the word Bhagavan is defined in Vishnu Purana. It is defined as that one who possesses the six type of opulences in complete. All beauty, all wealth, all strength, all knowledge, all renunciation, and all fame. Anyone who possesses little of this, they become attractive, they become powerful, or they become, people get followers for them, right? You take Elon Musk or Bill Gates, does he control all the wealth of this world? Just one fraction of the whole world's wealth. He's not even a trillionaire, right? A lot of money, control 450 billion or whatever. Let's say there is an announcement that Elon Musk at 19117 NE 64th Way, Redmond, Washington 98052, is going to give a seminar on how to become a billionaire. How many more people will be here?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
This room will not be enough.
This room will not be enough, right? Why? What is the difference between Madhav Chandra giving a class on overview Bhagavad Gita? Because he has certain energies, right? He has access to wealth. That wealth attracts people. Anyone who possesses any one of these opulences, wealth, beauty, strength, fame, knowledge, renunciation, they they possess that energy that attracts people towards them. He is not controlling all the wealth in the world, right? Little wealth, but still is attractive. Let's say Virat Kohli is sitting here next here, attending this Bhagavad Gita class. You might be all devotees. How many will be watching me? You will be, oh, how you might be saying, you might be devotee, you might be thinking, anyway, Prabhuji is giving class all the time. Let's see how he reacts to Prabhuji's class. Like that, you will think, you'll be attracted towards him, right? Because he's possessed certain fame, strength. So anyone who possesses these six opulences, even little bit, they become powerful in this world. But one who possesses all this in complete. Complete means past, present, and future. Complete means not only in this earth planet, the entire creation. think of how much attractive that person might be, how much powerful that person might be. That's what Bhagavan means actually. Literally, the word Bhagavan means one who possesses this 6 opulences in complete is called Bhagavan. So in this context, when Bhagavan speaks, Vedavyas, whenever he writes in Mahabharata, whenever Krishna speaks, or in any scripture, whenever Vishnu speaks, or Narayana speaks, it will be always written as what? Shri Bhagavan Vacha. But whenever Indra speaks, Brahma speaks, even Lord Shiva speaks, what is written? Shri Indra Vacha, Shri Brahma Vacha, Shri Rudra Vacha. Or if the Devatas collectively spoken, Devata Uchuhu, plural. But whenever Krishna or Vishnu Narayana speaks, it's always Bhagavan Vacha. That means there is this Bhagavan title is only given to Krishna, Vishnu, Narayana, same personalities. So Bhagavad Gita is spoken by him directly. Bhagavad Gita is, even though it is part of Mahabharata, which is an Itihasa, which is all part of the Smriti literature. Vedic literatures are classified into two categories, Shruti and Smriti. Shruti means what is heard. Smriti means what is remembered. What is heard means it's revealed in the beginning of creation when Bhagavan reveals the knowledge. The words does not change over the period of time. They remain the same. The words and the concept, they remain the same from the beginning of creation. Over the period of time, words also doesn't change. The concept doesn't change. That is called Shruti, what is heard. Because he revealed it, we hear it, it never changes. Shruti. Smriti means what is remembered. When something happens, some incidents happens in the past, history, the great sages, when they analyze that particular situation or incident, through the eyes of the Shruti, they understand principles, why it happened, what happened. When they recollect the past, when they analyze that past through the Smriti, they understand why it happened, what happened with the help of the scriptures. Like what they remembered the past, when they write it down, that is called Smriti. The words may or may not change over the period of time, but the concept remains the same. Concept remains the same. The words can or cannot change, may or may not change. Because the incidents might be changing, so the words might be changing. But the concept does not change because the principles are same, coming from Shruti. So hence Shruti and Smriti, they teach the same principles. But the method in which it is teaching is different. Shruti teaches the principles abstractly. It may not have many examples. Smriti teaches the same thing. The methodology is different. It gives with examples based on the historical account. Oh, this particular incident happened in this particular Manvantara, in this particular situation, particular place, this particular thing, there was this particular incident happened. What is that? How to understand that? When you see through the eyes of the scriptures, Shastra, Shakshu, oh, this is what it is. When the sages document this, that becomes Smriti. Puranas and Itihasas, right? Historical accounts. Purana means ancient. Itihasa means thus it happened. Basically, historical account. Itihasa means this happened. Purana means ancient. These are all historical accounts. These are not archaeological, chronological accounts, by the way. Like the way how we write history in the modern world. Chronological, archaeological record we write, right? But the purpose of recording these historical accounts by the sages is not for archaeological purpose. It is not documented chronologically. It is purpose is to inspire people in the path of spirituality, to give spiritual knowledge. Hence, sometimes the chronology may not be in sequence. The modern mind, when they read this literature, they will see conflicts. Sorry, they said something else, and said something again. This is like contradictory to the other one because chronologically doesn't make any sense. Because this is not documented for chronological purpose. It is documented for giving us spiritual knowledge, elevating our consciousness. That is the purpose of this Puranas and Idihasas. Hence, they should be approached not like a typical mundane literature through chronological or historical accounts. How we approach. It has to be approached in a different way. So Mahabharata and Puranas, Ramayana comes under Itihasa. The difference between Puranas and Itihasas. Puranas generally gives the historical account of not just one lineage, many lineages. Whereas Itihasa generally gives a detailed account of one person or one particular family or one particular lineage. Whereas Puranas will cover multiple lineages through multiple times. That's the difference between Puranas and Itihasas. So Mahabharata is one of the Itihasas. Mahabharata describes the stories of who? Kauravas and Pandavas, family of one story. Actually, also it gives the story of Krishna specifically, but it covers everything. So Krishna also comes like, it looks like he's just yet another character. That's what it looks like. But within this Mahabharata, which contains these 18 parvas or 18 volumes, there is one parva called Bhishma Parva, where the Mahabharata was about to begin. That Bhishma Parva, within that chapter, I forgot the names, comes this 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Spoken by who? Krishna to Arjuna. These are all part of Mahabharata, which is a Itihasa, which is a Smriti. Because it is written by, from the remembrance of Vedavyas, he documented this. So it is a Smriti. But because Krishna had directly spoken Bhagavad Gita, because the knowledge is revealed by Bhagavan himself, it also has a special status called Shruti. Even though it is coming within Smriti, Bhagavad Gita can be considered both Shruti and Smriti because Shruti it is revealed by Krishna. Smriti because it is part of Mahabharata. It has a special status. That is why Bhagavad Gita has very high importance in the Sanatana Dharmic or Vedic tradition. Generally, Christianity, Bible, for Islam, Quran. Similarly, for Hinduism, what is the scripture? Bhagavad Gita. Like that they say, but Bhagavad Gita is a lot more than that. Lot more than that. As I said, Vedas means knowledge. All this Vedic knowledge, which is vast amount, the conclusion of those Vedic knowledge is there in part of one particular Vedas called Vedanta or Upanishads. There are total 1180 Upanishads are there. So many of them are lost. If you have to understand the conclusion of the Vedas, you won't have to study all these Upanishads. Then only you'll be able to conclude thoroughly. But over a period of time, all these Upanishads are lost. Hence, there is one Upanishad which can summarize all this Upanishad, essence of all the Upanishads. That Upanishad is called Gita Upanishad or Bhagavad Gita. There are 7 shlokas Shankaracharya wrote in glorification of Bhagavad Gita. It's called Gita Mahatmya. In Gita Mahatmya, one of the shlokas, Shankaracharya says, Sarva Upanishad Gavo Dokta Gopala Nandana. He's saying, if you consider all the Upanishads to be a cow, what is the essence of cow? Milk. If you got to get milk out of the cow, what do you need? There has to be a calf. Until calf is there, cow will not release the milk. Is it sufficient for us to get milk if the calf is there? Calf will drink, it will release the milk. After calf finishes drinking the milk, you need a cow head to extract the milk, right? So in order for a milk to come out, you need two principles, calf and a cow herd. Sarva Upanishad cow. If you consider all the Upanishad to be a cow, Dr. Gopala Nandana. Who is the cow herd by? Gopala? Krishna, the transcendental cow herd by. Krishna is the milkman. Who is the Vatsa? Partha Vatsa. Who is the Vatsa? Vatsa means calf. Partha is the Vatsa. And when this transcendental milkman is milking this Upanishads, what is coming out? Gita Mahamritam Magat. Gita Amritam Magat. Amrita means what? Milk. Amrita, milk also called Amrita. Gita Amrita means the nectarian milk of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is drinking. After Arjuna drinks, who is drinking? Magat. Magat means all the great saints and the devotees. They are relishing this nectarian Bhagavad Gita milk. Who is bringing it out? Krishna. From where it is coming? All the Upanishads. That's why Upanishads, Gita is considered to be the essence of all the Upanishad. So this essence of all the Upanishads is there in 700 slokas. How is it possible? Such a vast forest of knowledge, which is like spread thousands and thousands of volumes, can be summarized in 700 slokas. It is not possible by any ordinary human beings. It can be done only by Bhagavan himself. Only Bhagavan can do this extraordinary task of compressing or giving the essence of the essence. That is the importance of Bhagavad Gita. It's not like yet another religious literature. This Bhagavad Gita contains 18 chapters. The first chapter is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Arjuna Vishada Yoga means what? Vishada means what? Huh? Sorrow, lamentation. Right? Arjuna's lamentation. How come Arjuna's lamentation can become a yoga? What is yoga? All might have understood the definition of yoga.
Connection with God.
Huh? You mean? Yoga means what? Connection with God.
Self with God.
What is it? Connection?
Connecting the self.
Connecting the self with
God.
God. Yoga means the process to link our consciousness with Supreme's consciousness. What does it mean? Take this HDMI cable, link it here, one side to MacBook Pro and another side to the projector. Linking means it's a linking, right? HDMI link. Is it like that? Linking means becoming one in purpose. The process which can link our consciousness with God's consciousness means our consciousness means our thought process. To link with God's consciousness, to become one in purpose with God's thoughts. That's called yoga. The link, the process. So yoga means the process to link. How come Arjuna's lamentation can become a yoga? Have you ever thought about it? Arjuna, in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the first section gives the introduction where all the characters are introduced a little bit and the conch is blown and all these things are happening. The second part is Krishna drives the chariot. Arjuna requests Krishna to drive the chariot to the opposite side and see. He wants to see who and all come to fight against them. Arjuna knew very well who is coming already through the spies. But still at that moment, he gets the thought. He tells Krishna, please drive the chariot to the middle. I want to see who and all can come. At the time, what does Krishna do? Looks at him and smiles and drives the chariot to the middle and then brings in front of who? Bhishma and Drona. And then shows that, see who had come. Like that he's showing with a smile. He knows what is going to happen next. Because Bhishma and Drona represent kith and kin. Bhishma is the most lovable grandfather of Arjuna, very dear to Arjuna. Because Arjuna lost his father when he was young. Bhishma is more than a grandfather. He was a father also for him. Such a loving, affectionate grandfather. The deepest connection one can have for a warrior. And kin, kith and kin means friends and relatives. The deepest relative is Bhishma. The deepest well-wisher is his guru, Drona. These two represents the attachment the conditioned living entities has in this world. When Krishna brought Arjuna in front of them, this attachment, the deepest attachment the living entity has in this world, Arjuna become bewildered. Huh? I have to kill people. Then he started rationalizing why he should not fight this war. He is not like imaginatively rationalizing. Based on Shastra, based on scriptures, he was rationalizing why it is not a good idea to fight this war. What is rationalization? Rationalization means using the intelligence in the service of false ego. What is it?
Why false?
Because false ego means what? What is false ego? What is real ego? What is false ego? Ego means I am. That feeling we all have, I am feeling the individualness, that's called ego. There's nothing wrong with it. When we think that I am this body, that is called false ego. That is not real. Why it is false? That is not our real entity. Our real entity is I am a spirit soul. Aham Brahmasmi. I am a spirit. That is the real ego. There is nothing wrong with real ego. Ego means here, the feeling of I am, the individualness is there. That's called, it is ahankar. False ego means ahankar. That means I am, which is not. So intelligence means, rationalization means using the intelligence in the service of false ego. When we say, why, Prabhuji, why you didn't come yesterday? You said that you will come. Yesterday you didn't come. Why? What happened? Sometimes, can be genuine reason. Sometimes there is no genuine reason. At the time we'll rationalize, Prabhuji, I have too much work. Some vague answers will come, right? Right? Because that means he is using intelligence. Some hour in the morning, alarm wakes up, right? At that time, what happens? Alarm is kept at 6. We keep snoozing, right? Why? Oh, yesterday I slept late. Oh, my body is paining. If I get up early, like I'll throughout the day, I'll be like not proper, like that. Some rationalization will happen all the time. This, when the rationalization is used, intelligence is used in the service of false ego, it is called rationalization. That's what Arjuna is doing here. He is using the intelligence in the service of his false ego. What is his false ego? Kith and kin. Ego means what? False ego means I am and anything connected to, I am this body and anything connected to this body. Extended body. He's telling why he should not fight this war. First reason is compassion. Why We should be compassionate to all species of life. What to speak of fellow human beings, especially what to speak of the worshipable personalities like Bhishma and Drona. We should be compassionate to all. Hence, we should not fight this war. Second, fear of sinful reaction. If I kill these two worshipable personalities, I will go to hell and suffer several lifetimes in the hell. Third, if I win this war, what I will get? The kingdom. The kingdom will be tainted with blood of my relatives. I will not be able to enjoy the kingdom. Loss of enjoyment. Fourth, destruction of family tradition. When the elders are killed in the war, there will be no one to guide the society. When there is no proper guidance, protection, then innocent people will be abused, and unnecessary, unwanted children will be produced in the society called Varna Shankara. When the unwanted children are produced, they will not offer food and water to the elders. When they do not offer food and water to the elders, you will not get blessings from the elders. If you don't get blessings from the elders, all the social projects will collapse. Hence, the society will dwindle and get destroyed. 4 logical, valid, scriptural reasons Arjuna is giving why you should not fight this war. But after doing all these things, after doing analysis with his own intelligence, after doing introspection of the situation with his own intelligence, without Krishna's guidance, leads to indecision. Still, he did not know. When we use our own intelligence without the guidance of Krishna to introspect the situation of our life, which will lead to indecision. Arjuna, after giving all these reasons, in the end, he says, I don't know what is right, to fight or not to fight, to kill or to be killed. Arjuna, being an intelligent man, is a great leader. The quality of great leader is that whenever the problem is given to him, if he is capable, he will solve it. If it's beyond his pay grade, what he will say? Ask for help. Bring the expert to solve it. Arjuna understood that this decision cannot be made by me alone. Even though I gave rationalization, I can't conclude whether what is right. At that time, he surrenders to Krishna. He says, Krishna, there is no one in the 3 world can dispel my doubt other than you. At this time, I am surrendering it to you. I am a soul surrender unto you. Please accept me as your disciple. Please instruct me what is ultimately good for me. That moment, the relationship between Arjuna and Krishna changes from a friendly cousin's relationship to guru-disciple. Until then, Krishna does not open his mouth. At that time, what does he say? Disciple means, please accept me. Or disciple means, disciple, the word disciple comes from discipline. Disciple means to be disciplined. Krishna disciplines Arjuna. Oh, Arjuna, you spoke like a learned Pandita, but you are a fool. You are speaking like an Anarya. You are behaving like an Anarya. How come these impurities have come upon you? Arya means one who knows the value of life. Anarya means one who does not know the value of human form of life. And then he disciplines him and starts giving the principles of spiritual knowledge, starting with ABC of all spirituality. What is the ABC of spirituality? What is the ABC of all science? All material science. If you take any science, all of them are in the end leads to what? Foundation is built on mathematics, right? If you want to say this is the beginning of all mathematics, what is the foundation of all mathematics? 1 + 1 = 2. You can say like that. This is the ABC of all mathematics or all science. 1 + 1 = 2. 1 + 1 = 2. Is there a proof for that? It's an axiom. What is an axiom? If you accept something as true, then you should be able to, without conflict, you can resolve all the other things. That's called an axiom. There is no proof for it. So for all science, the foundation is 1 + 1 = 2. Similarly, this can be called the ABC of science, material science. Similarly, for the spiritual science, there is foundational axiom. What is that axiom? I am not this body, I am a spirit soul. Aham Brahmasmi. That's what Krishna starts with. Natve vaham jatu nasam, natvam neme janatipaha, nachavana bhavishyamaha, sarve vayam ataparam. There was never a time I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings. There will never be a time we will all cease to exist. That means what? We all existed in the past, we are existing now, we will exist in future. What does it mean? That means we are all not this body. We are all eternal spirit souls. Immediately, what Arjuna will get? The doubt. If I am in this, try to think from the position of Arjuna. Arjuna is behaving in the bodily platform. He is thinking that I am this body. Krishna is telling that you are not this body. Immediate question is, what is then body this is? What is that body is then? What is this body is? If you say that I am not this body, then why I have this body? Krishna explains before even Arjuna asked this question. Krishna understood Arjuna's doubt in the mind itself. He reads the mind of Krishna. Arjuna tells the next sloka. Deginosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavvanam chara tada dehandra praptir dhirastatra namuhyati. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age. Similarly, at the time of death, the soul moves on to another body. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. What is the embodied soul? Means embodied soul, conditioned living entity. People who are taking birth in this world, the jiva, which is trapped within this body, it's called embodied soul. That jiva is changing the body all the time. You took birth as a child. After that, it grew to be a boyhood and youth and old age. Why the body is changing all the time? Because the soul is making the body change. Similarly, when the body becomes completely useless, the soul altogether drops this body, changes the situation to another body. That event is called death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. The eternal soul, which has the characteristics you might have studied in the DYS class. Sat, Chit, Ananda. These are the characteristics of the soul. Sat means eternal. Chit means conscious. Ananda means always bliss seeking. Always seeking happiness. This is the characteristic of Atma. The opposite of Sat, Chit, Ananda is Asat, Achit, Nirananda. That is matter. If you take Sat, Chit, Ananda spirit, if you take Asat, Achit, Nirananda matter or body, if you put together, what comes? Incompatibility. Because of the incompatibility, what arises? Duality. The next verse Krishna is telling, Matrash Pashastu Kaunteya Sita Ushna Shidoshna Dukkada Agama Paino Anityas Tamsha Tidikshiva Bharata. The non-permanent appearance of happiness and suffering in this world are like summer and winter seasons. They arise due to our sense perception. Yes, one has to learn to tolerate. So the so-called happiness and suffering, they are coming. Why? Because when the two incompatible opposing elements, the body and the soul, is put together, what is the interface between the body and soul? The mind. Mind is the interface between these two. Between the spiritual body and the gross body, the interface is the subtle body. It is like interface between the operating system, hardware, and the application is like the operating system, like that. Mind is that operating system. When the senses perceive in this world things through the eyes, through the nose, through the ears, through the skin, through the taste, tongue, all this data is sent from the various devices. Where does it go? Various senses, where does it go? To mind. We experience the happiness and suffering where? In the mind. Krishna is telling they are like summer and winter seasons. The heat and cold, how do you perceive it? Through our senses. Like that only the happiness is there arising due to our sense perception. What is the last advice from Krishna? One has to learn to tolerate. Why? To tolerate. I can understand maybe I have to tolerate some suffering. Why I should tolerate my happiness? First time I'm hearing somebody's advising, Prabhu, don't become too happy. Huh? Why? Because these are all temporary. If you get elated by the temporary happiness, if you get depressed by the temporary sufferings, you will not be able to make objective decisions in your life. If you cannot make objective decision, you will get distracted from the path of spirituality. You will lose the goal. You will get sidetracked and distracted somewhere else. Such a person who can tolerate this happiness and suffering, like winter and summer, honor and dishonor, love and hate, heat and cold, one can tolerate. Such a person who can tolerate, he is actually qualified for liberation. Krishna is telling the next sloka. Like that, Krishna is giving from the ABC of all spirituality. He is telling the XYZ of all spirituality. The conclusion. What is the conclusion? We'll see it later. The second chapter in the end, he is telling. Now, Arjuna, you understood. Now you stand up and fight. He is telling. Whatever Krishna wants to give, the instruction to Arjuna's situation, Krishna had completed in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is titled as Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga. In Sanskrit, Srila Prabhupada translates as contents of Gita summarized. The first part of it, the second chapter, analyzes Sankhya Yoga, but it concludes that ultimately we have to do all our activity, dedicated all our activity for the pleasure of the Supreme. That's what Krishna. Now you understood all these things. Krishna, stand up and fight on behalf of me. Second chapter, Gita is over. But along that, in the middle of second chapter, Krishna is telling, Arjuna, stay away from abominable activities of this world. Using your intelligence, stay away from abominable activities. Later, Krishna is telling, stand up and fight. Fighting is means what? Killing. Killing means gruesome, abominable. Krishna, you are giving equivocal, contradicting instruction for me. I do not understand what you mean by this two. Can you explain me further? That doubt of Arjuna in applying the principles what Krishna gave in the second chapter led to the rest of the Gita. Elaboration of the second chapter from third chapter called Karma Yoga. How to apply this knowledge in action through work, through our duties. The art of working, Krishna explains in the third chapter called Karma Yoga in response to Arjuna's question of what do you mean by this two? Stand up and fight and stay away from abominable activities. In that, Krishna elaborates the art of working. One has the right to do the work, but one is not entitled for the fruits of the work. That means if you are attached to the fruits of the work, you will face the consequence. Ultimately, it will lead to suffering for you. You have the right to perform the duty, but not be attached to the results. When I do work, the results will come. What should you do with the results then? Krishna is telling, if you are attached to the results, what will come? Misery. Okay, I give up the results. When I do one more activity, results comes, I give up. I keep on doing my work and keep on results are coming. If I'm attached to the results, I will suffer. I understand. Because one time, two time I tried, suffering comes. Let me give it up. If you keep on giving up the work, the results, not work. Ultimately, the question will, any for rational human being, question will come. What is it? Who is getting benefit from all these things? At that time, when he starts questioning, he becomes a jnani. Then he starts searching, who is that person? Who is the beneficiary of all this work? Who is the beneficiary of all the fruits of this work? He starts searching. He looks at it. This cannot be because this is matter. This cannot be, this is matter. This cannot be, this is matter. Like that, it starts rejecting. Not this, not this. Na iti, neti, neti. Like that, keeps rejecting all the things in the world. When he exhausts all the things in this world, he realizes, I don't know what is this. I had seen everywhere, it's not there. Maybe it is there inside me. When he starts introspecting inside, at that time he graduates from jnana yogi to dhyana yogi. A karma yogi, when he starts seeking who is the beneficiary of all this work, he becomes jnana yogi. He could not find out anywhere in this world by rejecting everything. Then he starts introspecting inside. Maybe he's inside. At that time, he becomes the dhyana yogi. Dhyana yogi means what? That Krishna explains in the 6th chapter. Dhyana means meditation, simple translation. It's also called Ashtanga Yoga. This Dhyana Yoga is another name is called Ashtanga Yoga. Ashtanga Yoga means there are 8 limbs are there in this path of yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. Yama, Niyama means the do's and don'ts. Asana means sitting posture to make the body stable and healthy. Out of more than 50, 60 or 100 asanas, actually in the end, there is only one asana is useful. All these asanas are to make the body fit, that's all. In the end, you will use only one asana in the yoga. What is it called? No, Padmasana.
What is that?
Padmasana. To meditate. All the other asanas are to make your body fit so that you can sit in one place straight, right? For a long time. That is the first step in making the body fit. Next step is to making the mind fit. Because even the breathing can disturb the mind. Hence, you have to learn to do pranayama. Now, after that, mind can be disturbed by the senses, right? Now, the senses has to be withdrawn from the sense objects. By withdrawing the senses from the sense object, you can dry up the senses. By drying up the senses, you can stabilize the mind. That's process called pratya ahara. Ahara means food. Pratya means not giving food. To what? For the senses. That is the 5th stage. When you can do this, yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara. Now, the mind, you can concentrate on one thing. If you can concentrate the mind on one thing, that is called dharana. If you put a small black dot in the wall, if you start focusing on that, it's called dharana. If you put a lamp, that's what in the beginning stage of the yogis, what the yoga yogis do. They try to focus the mind on one thing. That is dharana. But if you can transfer that concentration to the Paramatma in the heart, that dharana becomes dhyana. Dhyana means concentrating the mind, the consciousness on the Paramatma in the heart. The word dhyana is not applicable for anybody else or anything else. You can't say, I'm doing dhyana on my work. You can't say, I'm doing dhyana on this. Dhyana means it is meant for focusing on Paramatma in the heart. That's what dhyana means. When that meditation or concentration on the Paramatma in the heart is not, if you become fixed in that meditation, no food, no water, no heat, no rain, no external condition can stop you in focusing on Paramatma. In that state, it becomes samadhi. When the meditation becomes uninterrupted, that becomes samadhi. In the samadhi state, the yogi sees in the heart what? The Paramatma. He experiences the Paramatma. If the yogi is trained properly in the Vedic knowledge, after seeing the Paramatma, he knows that along with the Paramatma, who is there? Jivatma, in the heart. In the heart, the later chapters of Bhagavad Gita, you will see. The 15th chapter we will see. Or that in 13th chapter. Yet in this body, there is another living force. His name is called Paramatma, other than the Jivatma. Upadrashta Anumantacha, Bharta Bhokta Mageshwara, Paramatma Dichepikto, Degeshwin, Purusha Para. In this body, there is one more Purusha. He's called Paramatma. There are two Purushas, Jivatma and Paramatma. The Jivatma's characteristic, the size of the Jivatma is what? Huh? 1/10,000th part of a tip of the hair, not the width of the hair, tip of the hair. Tip of the hair is smaller than the width of the hair. Even electron microscope cannot figure out the size. 1/10,000th part of a tip of hair. That is the size of Jivatma. That Jivatma is there in the heart. Along with him is Paramatma. What is the size of Paramatma? Bhagavatam describes the size of a thumb. So when the yogi in Samadhi, he sees Paramatma. He knows that Jivatma is there. He is very tiny, but he knows that it is there. If he is trained properly in that way, at that time, that Jivatma is me, Paramatma is there. Let me surrender to Paramatma because I am part and parcel of him. After surrendering, he starts rendering service to him out of love. At that time, he graduates from Jnana Yogi to Bhakti Yogi. He becomes a Bhakta at that time. Bhakta means the loving exchange between the Lord and the living entity. It's called Bhakti. What we saw from the second chapter, third chapter, Karma Yoga, fourth chapter, Jnana Yoga, fifth chapter is called Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Based on Jnana, Krishna again analyzes the karma work. And then he comes to the sixth chapter of Dhyana Yoga. These first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita are called Karma Yoga section. Right? There is Jnana is there. Right? There is Dhyana is there. How can you call it karma? Here Acharyas explain karma means what? Activity, endeavors. The activity is the living entity. They have to make themselves on their own to understand who they are. These are described in the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, like described work by searching knowledge, by meditation. Finally, one can come to understand, I am not this body, I am Jivatma, who is there beyond this matter. There is Paramatma, who is the beneficiary of all work. The purpose of the part is to serve the whole. Let me surrender to him and serve him. This realization of coming to Brahma Bhuta stage or spiritual platform, Atma platform, these are one have to do the living entities, the endeavors they have to make on their own to come out to this realization. That is why it's called Karma Yoga. Karma means activity or endeavors. The living entity, the endeavors they have to make to realize who they are is called Karma Yoga. That is why this is called Karma Yoga section. In the 6th chapter, Arjuna says, Krishna, these are all great, whatever you said. But whatever you're describing in this 6th chapter is controlling the mind. I can't do it, man. He says, I can control the raging wind. I have weapons for it. If wind comes, I can stop that wind with my Vayustra. But I can't control my mind. My mind is very flickering. Krishna, it is not possible. Arjuna, Krishna says, yes, Arjuna, you are right. Mind is very flickering. For the condition of it is very difficult. But it is possible by practice and detachment. Abhyasa and Vairagya. It is possible. But Arjuna is saying, Krishna, tell me something which I can directly do. I don't want to go through this ladder, what you described. Climbing up 1,000 floors and reaching their top. I'm your friend, I'm a devotee. Tell me directly what I can do. Oh, you want that? Then Krishna gives a direct process to reach Bhakti Yoga. How? If there's a 100-floor skyscraper, the architect of the skyscraper provides the staircase. Also, he provides the elevator. Krishna gives the elevator to achieve Bhakti in the middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. In order to do directly Bhakti to Krishna, instead of going and searching everywhere, first we need to know something about Krishna, right? That is called Jnana Vijnana Yoga, the knowledge of the Absolute in the 7th chapter. Krishna gives knowledge about himself so that you can engage in the direct path of bhakti. Jnana Vijnana Yoga, the knowledge of the Absolute. How Krishna is the source of everything. There is nothing superior to him. Nata Paratarana Kinchidasti Dhanajaya. This 7th chapter is one chapter if you want to memorize in your life. You memorize it and nobody can refute you in any philosophy. You can defeat all the philosophies in the world if you understand the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita properly. Because Krishna gives the knowledge of himself directly from his own. After knowing this, there is nothing else to be known. Krishna says. After giving the knowledge of himself, then he is telling how to reach him, attaining the supreme Akshara Brahma Yoga. That is 8th chapter. How to reach him, he gives. How to come out of this loop of cycle of birth and death, he gives that if condition which can break the for loop, infinite for loop. What is that? Anta kalacha mameva smaran mukta kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati natyatra samshayaka. The only way to exit this world of cycle of birth and death is at the end of life. If you think of me alone, mam eva, you will attain my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Natyatra samshayaka. Krishna, what if I can't think of you at the time of death? If you think of my house, think of my Tesla, what will happen? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajati ante kalevaram tam tam evati kaunteya satatat bhava bhavitaka. Whatever you think at the time of death, that will become your destination. If you think of your Tesla, if you can't take birth in the next life as a human being to drive the Tesla, you will become a cockroach in the Tesla. Whatever you think, that's what will become. Like that, Krishna is telling how you can reach him and serve him. Now again, he gives in the 8th chapter later how the various yogis has to do this exit in a proper timing, proper sequence they have to do. It's very highly technical, but all this technicality is removed if you are directly serving me as a devotee. All these are not applicable. That explained in the 8th chapter. Now, after knowing Krishna, after reaching Krishna, you need to serve him. That is explained in the 9th chapter. Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yoga, the most confidential knowledge. Directly how to serve Krishna, bhakti. Manmanabhav matbhakto matyajimam namaskuru mameva shivtvayam atmanam matparayanaga. The last verse in the 9th chapter concludes, always think of me, worship me, offer obeisances unto me. In this way, you will come back to me. There is no doubt. You will always be with me. The most confidential knowledge, Raja Vidya Raja Guhya Yoga. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Eda Uttamam Pratyaksha Bhagavam Damyam Susukam Kartum Abhyayam. Is telling this performance of bhakti is the topmost knowledge. If you do it, it is very practical and it is very experientiable. You will experience bliss by performing, which is what we are all seeking for. The characteristic of the soul is to always seek bliss. Unfortunately, the bliss we are seeking in this world, they are all temporary because this nature of the soul is what? Nature of the soul is to serve. The dharma of the soul is to serve. Dharma means what? The intrinsic, inseparable characteristic of something is called dharma. The dharma of sugar is to be sweet. Dharma of fire is to be give light and heat. Dharma of water is to be liquid. Like that, the inseparable intrinsic characteristic of the soul is always to serve. That is what we are all trying to do. We are all always trying to serve. But unfortunately, when the service is directed towards temporary thing, when the temporary object is taken away, we experience misery. When we serve, what we get? Happiness, bliss. If you seek happiness, what you get? Suffering. If you seek happiness, what you will get? Suffering. But if you seek seva, service, what you will get? Happiness. So this nature of the soul, the dharma of the soul, sanatana dharma means what? Not these rascals who are like claiming what the sanatana dharma is. That is not sanatana dharma. Sanatana dharma means what? What is sanatana in this world? Is my body sanatana? It is temporary. Is my mind sanatana? No. Only sanatana is what? Soul.
Soul and Atma are same.
Yeah, soul, Atma. The beauty or the characteristic of the Atma is called Sanatana Dharma. What is the characteristic of Sanatana Dharma? To render service eternally, permanently, seeking happiness towards the Supreme. That is called Sanatana Dharma. So this is the nature of the soul. How to attain this happiness? Krishna tells Rajavidya, Rajagun. This 9th chapter, if you understand, this is the king of all knowledge. It is practical, it's purest. It will remove from all contamination. You will experience bliss, joyfully performed. The Bhakti Yoga is described. The confidential Bhakti Yoga is described. The directly serving Ananya Bhakti. Bhakti also can be mixed and unmixed. Mishra Bhakti or Ananya Bhakti. The concept of Ananya Bhakti. Bhakti might be there, but Ananya Bhakti is the most confidential. That is described in the 9th chapter. After giving this knowledge, Krishna is all great, but still I live in this world. I can't see directly you. I mean, I means people like us. Krishna is representative of all of us. When Krishna is asking all this question, don't think that he has all these problems. When in the TV, sometimes there is a nice health show. Every time the show host brings different experts, cardiologist, cancer person, like the different doctors he brings in, he asks many questions. Does it mean that he has all this disease? No. Why he is asking all this question? For the benefit of others. You understand, Arjuna is a liberated soul. He doesn't need all these things. He is asking on behalf of us. He is representing the conditioned divinity. Krishna is asking, you are great, all this is great, Krishna, now but still I have to live in this world. How can I perceive you in this world? Oh, you need to perceive me in this world? You want to be reminded of me in this world? Anything which is substantial you see in this world, that is actually nothing but spark of my splendor. It's just a small fraction of his, whatever you see. Whatever you see, great thing in this world is nothing but a spark of my splendor. It's just a small fraction of my opulence. Krishna tells Adityana Maham Vishnur, of all the descendant of Aditi and Vishnu. Who is that? Vamanadev. Of all the Devatas, the king of Devatas is I am Indra. Of all the warrior generals, I am Skanda. Of all the Rudras, I am Shiva. Of all the immovable things coming Himalayas, of all the weapon bearers, I am Lord Ram. Lord Ram. Of all the Pandavas, I am you, Arjuna. Like that, anything substantial of worth discussing or giving attention in this world, they are nothing but spark of my splendor. This is how you can perceive me in this world. You understand that everything emanates from me. Aham sarvasya prabhu mattas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samvitaha. As I said, whole Bhagavad Gita is the essence of the Vedic knowledge because it is the essence of the Upanishads. If you want to understand, in 4 nutshell verses, this verse in the middle, in the 10th chapter, 10.8, 10.9, 10.10, 10.11, gives the crux of the Bhagavad Gita called Chatur Shloki. If you want to remember, 108 number, you remember, very auspicious number. Put 108, put a dot after 0, 10.8. Aham sarvasya prabhu matta sarv. Everything is emanating from me. I am the source of everything. An intelligent person who knows this worships me with all his heart. That is 10.8. 10.9 is saying Machita Madgada Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kadayantascha mamnite tushyanticha ramanticha. How do they worship me? After understanding that I am the source of everything, the intelligent person worships me with all his heart. How he worships? Machitta matkata prana. He makes me as his goal of his life. He's always thinking of me, always discussing about me among the devotees. By parasparam, by discussing about this, my devotees derive pleasure. Tushyanticha ramanticha. Like this only they worship me with all their heart. For such a person who is fixed in exclusively worshipping out of love for me, what do? Tesham shatati yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yanamam upayanti te. For such a person who worships me, tesham shatati yuktanam, always worship me out of love, bhajatam priti purvakam. What do? I give the intelligence through which he can come back to me. Yanamam upayanti te. Dadami buddhi yogam. I give the buddhi yoga, intelligence through which he can come to me. How do I give that intelligence? Next verse. Tesham evanakam partam akam agyanam jamtamaka nasayani yame bhavasto jnana deepena bhashvata. How I give this knowledge? I am there in the lot of the living entity. By shining lamp of knowledge, I dispel the darkness out of ignorance to show special mercy to such a person who is always worshipping me out of love, through which he can come to me. These are called Chaturshloki of Bhagavad Gita. After describing this, then he describes how we can perceive Krishna in this world through all the prominent things in this world. After hearing this, Arjuna is asking, Krishna, now you said that you are pervading all this universe, controlling everything. Everything is nothing but spark of your splendor. How do you manage this universe? I want to see. Can you show that universal management? What you do, how you do? And Krishna in the 11th chapter shows the Vishwarupa, how he is pervading through the entire universe and everything, how he is managing through Vishwarupa Yoga. That's called Vishwarupa Yoga. After seeing this, Krishna is telling Arjuna, you can't see it normally, nobody can see this. I will give you some special ability for you to hold it because you will get bewildered. It's overwhelming because you are tiny. This process is gigantic. You are just going to, you're about to experience infinite when you are infinitesimal. If you are not equipped properly, you will collapse. I'm giving you special ability, special vision through which you can see me. Then he shows the Vishwarupa. After seeing this, Arjuna is bewildered. He immediately starts saying, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Until now, I treated you like my friend. We are sleeping in the same bed. We are eating from the same plate. Sorry, I did all this mistake to you. Please forgive me. Please accept my forgiveness. Please forgive me. You are, I can't believe it. You are this. Like that, he starts offering glorification of prayers. After glorification of prayer, Krishna says, okay, don't worry. Come down, come down. All this is great, but I want to see that you have also a special form in this universe with 4 hands. I want to see that. Because that's for the form. Everybody, all the devatas are coming to you whenever they're in trouble. Of Narayana form, Vishnu form. I want to see that also. That's what devatas are approaching to see you. I want to see that. After he sees the next, the 400 form. These are all great, Krishna. I'm happy with our friendly 200 form. Come back to the 200 form. Then Krishna comes back to this 200 form. After coming back to the 200 form, what you see, even the devatas can't see. This is what you are seeing in front of you. It is not possible. Even the yogis, the dhyanis, the devatas, nobody had seen it. This is the most confidential form. Even Brahma came when he was young in Vrindavan. He got bewildered. He thought, I'm somebody, I'm a magician. So this form, nobody had seen it. The Saumya Rupa, the 200 form, is my eternal spiritual Goloka form. Once in a day of Brahma, I descend here. When I descend here, even Brahma doesn't know it, he gets bewildered. This is very, very rare, what you're seeing. When Krishna was there, so many people saw Krishna. How can you say that only Arjuna is seeing it? When Krishna was there, so many saw Krishna, they all did not understand he is Paramapurusha. They thought maybe he's a king, maybe he's a great warrior, maybe he's little more. Only few people you can count in your fingers. How many people understood who Krishna is? The Pandavas understood, Draupadi understood, Kunti understood, Bhishma understood, Vidura understood. That's it. Sanchaya, maybe, maybe not. He did, maybe. So now, after seeing all these things, Arjuna asked, Krishna, it's great, fantastic for giving me these options. The gradual process of several lifetime of achieving bhakti, going through karma, jnana, dhyana, and then bhakti, and then directly worshipping you, the direct process of elevated bhakti. Now, which is better? Krishna told already, but still you want to reconfirm, because I'm doing this. Whenever I'm doing this, I want to do that. I'm doing right thing. Krishna wants confirmation. Arjuna wants confirmation. Now you tell me which is better, worshipping this impersonal thing and gradually coming to you, or worshipping directly you, the form, Krishna, what I'm saying, which is better? Krishna gives very clear, conclusive answer in the 12th chapter called Bhakti Yoga. He says, worshipping me directly is the best process. If you are doing this indirect process of gradually coming to me, you may or may not come to me, because it may take long time. Eventually you will come to me, but you don't know how long it's going to take. The path is filled with so much of difficulty. Hence, worshipping me directly is the way. How to worship? Krishna says, always be absorbed in me. Always think of me, always be absorbed in me. But what if I can't do? Then follow the regulative principles of bhakti. Follow the rules in bhakti so that you can come to the platform. If I can't follow the rules of bhakti, what should I do? Simply work for me. Meaning, do the work and give the fruits to me. If you can't work for me, work and at least give up the fruit to somebody, but don't be attached. Like that, he gives different options depending on the consciousness of the ability of the performer. Unlike other religions, where if you can't do this, you're out. Vedic religion is not like that. If you can be anything, there's a place. If you're elementary, kindergarten, there's a place. If you're a PhD, superintelligence, there's a place. Similarly, in bhakti, if you're in the beginning, you can't do anything, just give up, do work and just give up the results for something. If you can do better, you have to do the work and give the results for Krishna. Better, do the practices of bhakti properly, regulative principles of bhakti. Better is always be absorbed in me out of love. Like that, he gives options. This is bhakti yoga. Again, if bhakti is the culmination, bhakti is the end, Bhagavad Gita should be over by 12th chapter. This is all well and great. Krishna, he said, I understood. I am spirit, you are supreme spirit. I am part of you. My purpose is to serve you, serve the whole. But still, I have to log in Amazon.com tomorrow and do work. Still, I have to pay my mortgage in this world. Still, I have to take care of my elderly parents. How do I live in this world now? Krishna explains. The middle 6 chapters are called Bhakti Yoga, the direct process of Bhakti Yoga, knowledge of Krishna, and how to worship Krishna directly. That is called Bhakti Yoga. The last 6 chapters, Krishna tells how to live in this world so that you will not get entangled in this world. In order for that, you need to know how the world is functioning. If I don't even know how the world is functioning, how can I make choices? How can I know which is favorable, which is not favorable? Krishna gives how this material world is functioning. The inner workings of this world, Krishna describes. That's why it is called Jnana Yoga section. How to live in this world so that you make the right decision to accept things which are favorable, reject things which are unfavorable. For that, you need to know this world. The 13th chapter, Kshetrajna Yoga. The knowledge of the field and the knower of the field. The field is this world. The knowledge of the field is Jiva. You have to understand these two things are separate. Like that, Krishna starts giving the next yoga, Next chapter is called the modes of material nature, Gunatraya Yoga, the three modes of material nature. How everything in this world is made of these three modes. What are the three modes? Sattva-guna, Raja-guna, Tamo-guna. Everything in this world is made of these three modes. Either this three mode or combination of these three modes. You take my clothes, it's three modes, one of the three modes. Take my food, one of the three modes. Take my vehicle, one of the three modes. Take my work, one of the three modes. Take time in this world, one of the three modes. I am giving charity, that is can be also one of the three modes. Like that, everything in this world is nothing but combination of these three modes. The three modes is the one which manifesting variety in this world. How red, blue, and green, RGB, is the primary color through which you can create infinite varieties of colors. Like that, the three modes, when you combine it in different proportion, you get varieties and varieties of things in this world. That's called Gunatraya Yoga, or the three modes of material nature. That's 14th chapter. In that nature is sometimes the mode is of goodness is dominating, sometimes the mode of passion is dominating, sometimes the mode of ignorance is dominating. When the sometimes mode of ignorance is dominating, I would like to party late in the night. When a mode of goodness is dominating, I would like to get up in the morning and go to Mangalarati. When the mode of passion is active, I want to go and do work at 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. I want to make $1 million. Passion, daytime. So this is how the modes, whenever they dominate, they create different influences in our life. The 15th chapter, even after understanding this, still you would understand there is one person in this world who's not affected by any of this. He's called Purushottama. Purusha Uttama. Of all the Purushas, there is one Uttama Purusha. Who is that Uttama Purusha? Krishna. Krishna talks about again himself, how he is situated in everyone's heart. Along with us, he is there as Paramatma, but he is not affected by any of his. He is called Purusha Uttama. Sarvasya Chagam Giridishan Nivishto, Matas Mritir Gyanam Apoganam Che Vedaisa Sharveraham Veve Vetyo Vedanta Kritveda Videva Chagam. He is telling, I am situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. From me comes knowledge, remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Vedesha Sharveraham Veve, by all the Vedas I am to be known. Vedanta Kritveda Videva, I am the compiler of the Vedas and I am the knower of Vedanta. All the purpose of Vedas is to know me. This Purushottama, Uttamas among all the Purushas. This is 15th chapter. Krishna explains the 15.16, 15.17, 15.18. These three shlokas are called Trishloki of Bhagavad Gita. 15, 16, 17, 18. Krishna is telling there are two types of living entities. The fallibles and infallibles. Fallibles means the one who had taken birth here. Infallible means who remains in the spiritual world. Of either it's fallible or infallible, there is one person who is beyond all these things. Who is that? That's me, Paramatma, Supreme, Bhagavan. All the Vedas, everything is glorifying this Purushottama. This is the conclusion of all the Vedas. This is called Trishloki of Bhagavad Gita. After that, Krishna is telling, okay, in this world, I understand the three modes, the living individual living entity, the Purushottama. But apart from that, there are other people out there. Who are they? Who are always working against, always want to go opposite. The naysayers. Krishna talks about divine and demoniac nature in the 16th chapter. Daiva Ashra Sampata Yoga. Depending on what mode you associate, that's what you will become. It derives the qualities of the demoniac people. Demon means not one who has the horns and fangs. Demons means what? They might be looking beautiful with blue eyes. Demons means one who's always working against their own self-will, self-interest. They do not care for their own self, the soul. They're simply interested in scratching, simply tinkling the senses and enjoying this world. Ashura means not one who is having the horns and flanks, what how our Amar Chitra Katha depicts. One who works against his own self-interest. He doesn't know that he's destroying himself. One, he doesn't know that he is going further and further down in his own consciousness. Ishwarogam, Agam Bogi, Siddhovan, Balavan Sukhi. One of the thought process of Ishwarogam. Agam Bogi, everything is there for my enjoyment. Siddhovan, I'm perfect. Balavan, I'm very strong. Nobody can defeat me. These are the mindset of this infinitesimal, tiny, one-tenth part of a tip of a hair, soul which cannot even lift his own hand on his own, whose ability is only to desire. That living entity, when is puffed up with pride, he thinks that Ishwarvagam, I am the controller. Siddhovan, I am perfect. Balavan, I am strong. I don't have any enemy, I can destroy all my enemies. This is demonic nature. The divine nature Krishna describes. They are very thoughtful. They are always following the laws of the scripture and laws of the land. They are thoughtful, patient, always seeking for stability in life. But he defines more this asuric nature more. Okay, Krishna, great. You are understanding. I'm saying all these things. But still, you are saying that there are people who follow the works of the scripture. They are daivas, suras. People who work against the scripture, who do not follow the scripture. They are called asuras. But in between, there are some category. They concoct their own scripture and follow. They are following, but concocted scriptures. Where do they stand? Then Krishna explains there are three types of faith in this world, again influenced by the three modes. That chapter is called Shraddha Yoga, 17th chapter. How varieties of religions are manifested in this world because of people's influenced by different modes. They come up with all kind of religion. These religions are not authorized by the actual scriptures, but they concoct their own scriptures, and still they follow and follow the religion. See, scripture and follow. This is the cause of this condition to the condition because of conditioning of the three modes. All these varieties of religions are created in this world as well. 17th chapter is this this yoga, the different types of faith or religion. 18th chapter he's telling what is given. Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. Okay, these are all great, all the religions are great, but understand that being surrendered to me is more superior than any of this knowledge, any of these religions. Hence, abandon all these varieties of religion. Sarva dharman parityecha mam ekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papyepyo moksha ishyami ma suchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion, Arjuna. Whatever you saw, all these things, don't waste your time. Surrender unto me. I will save you from all sinful reaction. Of this, there is no doubt. Do not fear. Earlier he says, Manmana again, Manmana bhav mattatto matyajamam namaskuru mamye visheshi satyam te pratijano priyesi me. This is exactly same repetition what Krishna gave in the 9th chapter. Almost 3/4 of the sloka is same. Manmana, Manmana, matbhakto, matbhakto, matyajamam, matyajamam, namaskuru, namaskuru. Krishna, these two shlokas are the concluding section of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna finishes. Now, Arjuna, you understood everything? If you did not understand, I'm ready to speak whole Gita again. Have you ever seen any teacher like this? After speaking 18 chapters, after having so much of discussion, he is willing to even speak the whole Gita again. Arjuna is asking. Krishna is asking to Arjuna, if you have not understood, I am ready to speak again. Arjuna is not an ordinary person. In 45 minutes, Krishna spoke all this Gita. 700 slokas. Arjuna understood. Their lifetime we are reading, still we can't figure out head or tail. And we have to understand the quality, the high caliberness of Arjuna, how great a student he might be. That Arjuna is telling Krishna, by your mercy, I had regained my memory. I understand what I am, what you are. I am ready to act as you tell me. I am ready to do whatever you say, whatever you ask me to, I am ready to do. I am ready. I am all set to go. I understood. Now, let's get back to work. This is conclusion of Arjuna. If you want to understand Gita, if you have understood Gita, what is the verification for that? Who took Gita? Krishna spoke to Arjuna. After speaking Gita, what did Arjuna say? What is the conclusion Arjuna did? If we all understood Gita, we should come to the same conclusion as Arjuna, right? The conclusion is given Gita only. Not in one place, several places it is given. In the 18th chapter, then Arjuna is telling Krishna, I am ready to do as you tell me. All my doubts are gone. I am very clear now what to do. After describing the whole thing, the whole narration is given by who? Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. What is Dhritarashtra telling? In the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, first verse. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre Samaved Yutsavaka Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimatu Akurvata Sanjaya. In the battlefield known as Kurukshetra, which is also known as Dharma Kshetra, my children, my sons, Mamaka and Pandava, the sons of Pandu, deciding to fight, assembled, what did they do? If they decide to fight in the battlefield, what will they do? Fight only. Why he is asking this question? Because he had some doubt. The name Dhritarashtra means what? One who usurps land illegally. He's called Dhritarashtra. He had always had the eye on the kingdom, but he was not qualified to have the kingdom. The moment his brother died, using that as a reason, he just took it as a caretaker. After being caretaker, he doesn't want to give. He want to usurp. He want to keep everything whole. Through his sons, he want to fulfill the desires. He want to put a permanent solution of not getting this Pandavas again. Hence, through his sons, he want to fulfill this desire of keeping the land for himself. He was so anxious, but he knows that it is wrong. So he was worried because this Dharma Kshetra, the Kurukshetra, they assembled to fight. This is also known as Dharma Kshetra, the place of religious activity. In the place of religious activities, if all these people come to fight, maybe that place will influence my children and they will not fight and they will give up the kingdom. Hence he was worried. That is why he asked this question. To that question, what did Sanjaya say? The whole Gita. After saying it, what is he saying? The end. Last few verses we'll read. Few more minutes. Few more minutes, okay? Okay?
Yeah.
Last few shlokas of what Dhritarashtra says, Sanjaya says. Sanjaya said, see now here, this Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt and I am prepared to act according to your instruction. If a student understood Bhagavad Gita clearly, this is the mindset he will be left with. When he understands Bhagavad Gita, clearly this is the mindset. I am ready to do what Krishna asked me to do. Now Arjuna, now Sanjaya is telling, Sanjaya said, that's, I have heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna. And so wonderful is that message that by that my hair is standing on end. How many of your hand is standing on end? This is what happened to Sanjaya, right? Because this is not ordinary conversation. Who can summarize the entire Vedic knowledge in 45 minutes, Baba? And who can understand? Only two great souls. By mercy of Vyasa, I have heard this most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. O king, as I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment. This is what happens if even a conditioned living in this world, they listen this Bhagavad Gita from an authorized bona fide source with the right mindset, with the right attitude, they'll be thrilled to know. No. Bhagavad Gita is a thrilling adventure. You want to approach it right, with the right attitude. O king, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I am rejoiced again and again. It's not Sanjaya seen Krishna before. Now he's seeing it what? He's seeing with a proper vision. He's seeing with proper vision. He saw early Krishna as a prince of Yadava. Now he's seeing it as Supreme Lord. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. He is answering finally after giving all this elaborate 18 chapters. Dhritarashtra, do not have any hope. Your situation is hopeless. You rascal, you are trying to usurp the kingdom of this rightful people. Understand wherever Krishna and Arjuna is, that's where victory is going to be. Not only victory, opulence and morality and power, everything where Krishna and Arjuna is. Do not have any hope. All your understandings are going to be destroyed. This is the answer he is giving in a polite way because he is the secretary. That's what it means. Right? Let's recite this shloka. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha, Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Yatra, where? Yoga Ishvaraha, the master of mysticism, Krishna, Lord Krishna. Yatra, where? Parthaha, the son of Pritha. Dhanurdaraha, the carrier of bow and arrow. Tatra, there, Shri, opulence, Vijaya, victory, Bhutihi, exceptional power, Dhruva, certain, Nitihi, morality, Mati Mama, my opinion.
So just a minute. Who has got the car parked in the driveway? Toyota. My driveway, silver color.
Oh, Toyota Corolla.
Driveway में लगाया आपने driveway. In my driveway आपने driveway में लगाया. तब move कर लीजिए उधर आने को जाना है.
Wherever there is Krishna, you can repeat after me. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will be also certainly opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your attention. We'll stop here. Comments, questions, clarifications, reflections, all are welcome. Hare Krishna.
You don't have time for my wife. Love ladies with you.
Yeah, we have still some few more minutes for questions.
Unless anybody has to go for the classes, you can still time. I'm not
Yeah.
managing.
Hare Krishna. Any doubts? Some doubts, anything is fine. Any questions you can ask.
Did the Vishwarupa, other than the 6 people or who you mentioned, did anyone else see or they have not seen
No,
it at all?
Vishwarupa had, many people had seen
Okay.
that nobody understood. Even Duryodhana had seen Vishwarupa in the earlier when Krishna went for peace mission. Right?
Yeah.
What Krishna said to the Duryodhana and co, Array, these Pandavas are their Kshatriyas. In order to discharge their duty, at least give some 5 villages so that they can manage something. They are willing to even come up to the devil. I will convince them to take 5 villages, not fight. But Duryodhana said, I will not even give a land which can be held at the tip of a needle. No land, period. Then he thought, because this Krishna is there with them, that's why this Pandavas are fighting. Let me arrest Krishna and put him in jail. This Pandavas will surrender without even war. Then he tried to arrest Krishna. At the time, Krishna showed his Vishwarupa. That's not the full Vishwarupa what Arjuna saw. Little bit, like a preview. After seeing that, of course, Krishna, they could not capture Krishna. Krishna left. You know what conclusion Duryodhana came? After seeing Krishna's Vishwarupa, Arjuna came to conclusion. He started first asking forgiveness. Krishna, I slept in the bed, same bed. I was calling you, Keshava, Madhava, Yadava. We are playing, we are doing fighting, all kind of things we are doing. Sorry, please forgive me. Duryodhana, you know what is the conclusion? He came after seeing Vishwarupa. Just a magician, Papa. He did some trick and left. This is what happens for the demons. So, few people had seen. After seeing also, they're not in the right mindset or right attitude. They'll get opposite conclusion only.
Krishna is considered a, what do you call, one of the avatars of Vishnumurti.
Yes.
So, is Vishnumurti a bigger soul compared to Krishna, or why is it Krishna being portrayed as the biggest soul?
Very good question. What do you think?
I'm confused.
That's good that you're clarifying the doubt. You're following the footstep of Arjuna. If you have doubt, no, you're immediately asking. That's the very good sign. Doubts needs to be destroyed immediately. Doubts are like demon. It should be killed. Krishna and Arjuna are the same person. Krishna and Vishnu, they're the same person. There is no difference. Some part of the scripture says Krishna is an avatar of Vishnu.
Right.
Which is correct.
Dasavatara.
Dashavatars means 10 prominent incarnations. It takes many incarnations. In Bhagavatam, not 10, 24 incarnations are described, not 24, some numbers. After describing all these incarnations, it also says the Lord takes infinite number of incarnations. Like how many? If you take a flowing body of water like a river, in that there are small waves are there called rivulets. Can you count how many rivulets are there? Can you count? Is it possible? That many incarnations it takes. We can't count it. It takes infinite number of incarnations. But the same Bhagavatam also tells all these incarnations which are described. Ete chamsa kala pumsha krishnastu bhagavan swayam indrari vyakulam lokam vradiyanti yuge yuge. Earlier, all the list of incarnations which are described, which includes Krishna and Balaram. After describing all these things, still it says all these above incarnations are Ete cha amsa kala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan. All these incarnations are either portions are plenary portions of Bhagavan. But Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. But Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan himself. Like, for example, if all the statesmen of United States, like congressmen and senators, all of them are assembled, including the secretaries of various departments, all are assembled for a grand dinner somewhere. If you want to address them, you will say that all these people are important people in this world, people of the country, because they're all various government representatives. Right? All these are important people. But he is the president of the United States of America. What does it mean? In that entire crew, what all is there? The president, vice president, the secretaries, right? Senators, congressmen, all of them are there. That includes all these people are important. That includes the president also. And then there is a word called but. But he is the president. What does it mean? Even though among all the important people present is that he is not the same category as others. The moment you use the word but, means there's a change in category. You understand? So all these incarnations are mentioned, and then the word Krishna's tu means but. Krishna, but Krishna is the Swayam Bhagavan himself. All these people are important people of the government functionaries, government machinery, but he is the president. That means he is not the same. He's the leader of all. He's the supreme, or he's the head. There's a change in category. Like that Bhagavatam is telling. This is the declaration by Bhagavatam. Krishna is the supreme person. Here is one Purana says Vishnu is the source of all the incarnate, including Krishna, the Dashavatars. Do you see a contradiction? Yes. From our level, we see contradiction. From the Shastra level, it is not contradiction. I'll just give an example, an analogy through which you can understand. Let's say I'm a builder of the house. I like to build house. Then Damodar Hari Prabhu gave me the contract to build this beautiful house. I built this house. Okay? To enter into this house, I also had built the door. Who is the door? What is the door? This is the door which allows me to come into this door. Who built this whole house, including the door? Me. Now, finally, after building his house and including the door, all of them I built, I handed over the possession to him. He invites me for a grand housewarming party. I came in to the door. Now, how did I come into this house? Upon this invitation. Through the door. What is the source of Madhav Chandra to come into this house? This door. Is it correct statement? Correct statement. Who is the source of this door? Who built this whole house? Not only this door, whole house. Who is the source of it?
Madhav Chandra.
Madhav Chandra. Do you see any contradictions? In this context, to come into this particular house, that is the source. But outside of the house, I am the source of the whole thing. Like that, for entire creation, including Mahavishnu, everything, Krishna is the source. But within our universe, any one of the avatars, when they have to enter in our universe, they have to come through Shirodakasaya Vishnu. Shirodakasaya Vishnu means on Shira Shagaram, who is lying down in the Shira Shagaram milk ocean. He is the door through which all incarnations can enter into our universe. Who is the source of all these incarnations to our universe? Shirodakasaya Vishnu. That's correct. But who is the source of all these avatars, including Vishnu? Krishna. This is how we can resolve that contradiction. It is not a contradiction. It's a perfect statement. From this context of our universe, Vishnu is the source of Dashavatars, including Krishna. But if you look in the grand scheme of things outside of our universe, Krishna is source of including Vishnu. But they are all same persons, by the way. Make sense? Both of them are not inaccurate contradiction. Both of them are correct statements. In spirituality, there is no one right thing. There are many levels of rightness is there. That when we study properly with the proper teachers, we can understand the various levels of truth. And there is one supreme absolute truth. By understanding the truth, nothing else needs to be understood. Everything will be understood properly. That is called Krishna. That's why Krishna is called Param Satyam. Does it answer your question? Any other comments, questions? Is it clear that answer again? Krishna, Vishnu difference? There's no difference, same persons. Yes, Prabhu.
In the first chapter, Arjuna is having some doubts. But all the doubts became true after Mahabharata. Even Krishna's son and his all everything was dead. So why do you think that this 18 chapters are so nice? And why can't, I mean, ultimate truth is what was the doubt in the first 10 shlokas, right? That doubt was the truth after the whole Mahabharata. And even after longer chapter, right? So how do you see that? Because the truth is whatever is different, but it was just a motivation for the people to act. So how do you see that?
Yeah, you can say it as Kirta as a motivational book.
No, that is one argument, but how do you see it?
No, from what I see personally, that the whole thing is an orchestration of Krishna. Things are going to go the way it's supposed to go. That's what Krishna says. I have already decided to kill all these people. It's up to you. You have a choice to be part of be an instrument in my hand or not. If you become an instrument in the cause what I had come here for, you will get all the glories. Otherwise, still, I'm going to continue. Why I had appeared here? Why Krishna appeared here, first of all? Because Bhumi Devi, when the atrocities of all the irreligious kings increased on the planet, she could not tolerate their sins, the weight of their sins. She took the form of a cow and approached Brahmaji. Brahmaji, she said, these people are doing atrocious activities. I'm not able to tolerate. Can you help me? Bhumi Devi is asking. Please do something to reduce this sinful weight. Then Brahmaji looked at it. Then he understood this problem is beyond my pay grade. He went to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva said, yeah, I can destroy all these people, but I don't have this targeted destruction. If I give destruction, everybody will be finished. Only that kind of control I have. I'm involved only for destruction during Pralaya. I can't do all this selected target. I have only nuclear bomb which I put, finish the whole thing. So this is beyond my pay grade also. If this specific cleanup has to be done, one who can do discriminatingly is not me, and that capacity is not there. That with our maintainer, our boss, Vishnu. Whenever there is trouble with all the devatas, including now Brahma, Shiva, all of them they went. Whenever there is a trouble, they go to Kshetra milk ocean. They can't enter into the milk ocean, they go to the shore of the milk ocean. If I want to come to Damodar Hari Prabhu's home, I come in front of the door. If I have to call him, what do I do? Ring the bell. And all the devatas ring a calling bell. Whenever they're in trouble, come to the shore of the milk ocean. That calling bell name is called Purusha Shukta. These prayers are offered in the Rig Vedas also. They chant the Purusha prayers on the shore of the milk ocean. They stand and chant this Purusha prayers. At the calling bell, who listens? Shirodaka Sai Vishnu, who is lying down the Shira Shagaram, he gets that call and he responds to the call through his phone, through the ring app. In the heart of Brahma, directly, answer he gives. Okay, I understood your problem. There is a problem in the earth. I understood the cow. Mother Earth is coming and complaining. I will take care of it. I will descend soon. I will descend soon to earth. Before me, you ask all the Devadas, to take birth in various dynasties to assist me in my pastime. This is the instruction he gives, and Brahma gives this revelation to everybody, and all the Devadas go and take birth in various dynasties. And Krishna takes birth in the womb of Mother Devaki as a son of Vasudeva, and Devaki appears on the first day itself. He leaves that place because it is not yet ready to do full action here. Before this actual action, I need to do some practice. So that practice I will do it in Vrindavan. He goes to Vrindavan. When Krishna is in Vrindavan, all the toys sent by his mama Kamsa, Krishna takes his hand, with his hand only finishes off all the toys, all the demons. Those are all practice with his bare hand. Krishna does in Vrindavana, killing all the demons. These are all like Krishna having practice. Then he kills Kamsa, goes to Mathura, establishes his grandfather Surasena as the king. Then again Kamsa's friend Jarasandha gets upset, keeps on attacking Mathura again and again. Krishna said, "Okay, he is a nuisance man. So I don't have time to deal with. I have a bigger plan to kill all of them, all these demons. So let me move to Dwarka." Krishna goes and moves in Dwarka. Then when Krishna is in Dwarka, then Yudhishthira wants to do this Rajasuya Yajna. Rajasuya Yajna means you have to be accepted by all the kings as you are the undisputed king, the emperor. Jarasandha will oppose. Hence, Bhima goes and kills Jarasandha first. Then after that, Rajasuya Yajna is done. As part of the Rajasuya Yajna, right? Different people are assigned different services, and Duryodhana takes up the service of collecting all the gifts people bring for Yudhishthira. And Krishna takes the position of
Prabhu, you got muted for online. Prabhu, mic may have got muted. Hare Krishna Prabhu.